Welcome to Brampton Fire and You. I'm your host, Tina Hickey. Today we're going to learn about carbon monoxide, holiday safety, and fire extinguishers. In the studio is Dale Lisle, who is the Director of Research and Education for the Technical Standards and Safety Authority, also known as TSSA. Dave, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you.
We're going to talk about carbon monoxide. What is carbon monoxide and how can it affect a person?
Well, really, all carbon monoxide it's an odorless, colorless gas. It's created when people burn fuels. And unfortunately, it can do a lot of harmful things to people, including be lethal at certain levels. So it's a hazard we all need to be aware of and need to deal with.
Now, are certain ages of people affected by carbon monoxide more than other people? Like, would an older person, let's say myself, be affected more, or younger people?
Well, yeah, certainly. I mean, it affects everyone, but certainly younger people and the elderly are even more severely affected. But it's a lethal agent for everyone. But certainly, as I say, with kids and with older folks, that's certainly even a bigger hazard for them.
Carbon monoxide is definitely a concern in our homes. How is carbon monoxide produced in our homes?
Well, first of all, you're right. It is a big issue in our homes. Over about 3/4 of all the incidents in Ontario happen in private residential dwellings. So unfortunately, it's in our homes. So we have to help manage it. And the way it's produced, a lot of people think of it with just their furnace. But if you have a gas fireplace, a gas dryer, anything that burns fuels is a potential source because carbon monoxide comes from the burning of fossil fuels.
So what measures can a homeowner take to ensure that carbon monoxide does not become a problem in the home?
Well, there's really two things that you can do that are the most important. And one is preventative and one is kind of reactive. The preventative one is make sure that you get your fuel-fired appliances properly maintained by certified technicians. A lot of people think they can just change furnace filters and things like that. That's not enough. You really need to get professionals in to make sure the systems are working well. So that'll prevent the problem. On the other hand, nothing's 100%. So having a CO alarm in your house is an absolute essential. That'll give you a warning in the case that CO is starting to build up and allow you to escape and not suffer any kind of health effects.
I think it's important that people realize that carbon monoxide alarms are a necessity because we can't see, we can't smell or taste carbon monoxide, and so we do need that early warning device. What type of CO alarms would you recommend for our viewers to purchase?
Well, certainly, like a lot of equipment and electronics, you need to make sure they're certified by either the Canadian Standards Association or Underwriters Laboratory. So you've got to look for their seals on those products. Most reputable retailers only carry those kind of devices, but it's important as individuals who are looking after our families and our homes that we check for that. So there's certainly lots of products out there, and as I say, most of them are certified by the proper authorities.
Is there certain features that you would recommend that a homeowner look for on a carbon monoxide alarm?
Well, I think, again, it's so long as you get an alarm that's manufactured by a reputable manufacturer and has been certified by the standards associations, you're going to have a good and solid product. I think what's equally important, though, is that you need to follow their instructions in terms of the installation and regular testing. Again, nothing's infallible. Just like smoke alarms, you should be testing them on a monthly basis, and you want to make sure that you replace them. They don't last for a lifetime. After about 7 years, you need to replace the alarm. In fact, the alarms today will start beeping when they need to be replaced. So the technology's come a long way, but we still have a really big role to play.
Excellent. What programs is TSSA involved in for our community?
Well, we're doing a lot. In fact, you'll recall, Tina, we worked with the Brampton Fire Services not that long ago to do a community Blitz program in Brampton where every household received safety information delivered to their homes. We do that in a number of communities across the province. We also do other programs where we provide information on our websites. I'd encourage people to visit cosafety.ca. It's a dedicated website that has a lot of information and free downloads, free information for people. So we're out there all the time. We're doing programs like this. And certainly we're reaching out. It's a real, you don't want to scare people, but it's a serious issue that we all have to take accountability for because it's in our homes. So we work very much with doing research and trying to understand how to reach the public in effective ways so that they can protect themselves.
Well, that's wonderful, and we appreciate Brampton Fire Emergency Services, the partnership that we created with the carbon monoxide program we did in April, and I did have residents let me know that they did receive the items in the mail. Now, just to go over about carbon monoxide in our furnace, should the homeowners just clean out their furnace on their own, or is it really important to have a professional come in?
Oh, it's absolutely essential to get a certified technician. TSSA, one of the things we do is certify people who are allowed to install and maintain these kind of products. Because as individuals, we don't have the expertise to be able to see problems that may be occurring. One of the big problems, without getting too technical, is a crack in your heat exchanger in your furnace. Well, you or I, it's very unlikely we would know that. A technician would, and that's when you start running into problems. So having that maintenance done, some people might say, well, they come in, what did I get for my money? Well, what you get is protection of you and your family and your loved ones. So that's really essential. We can do, obviously, some things. We can make sure we book that appointment, make sure we have that CO alarm and test it and replace it. But in the end, we need the help of professionals.
Now, one of the other things to ensure that our home is free of carbon monoxide is our chimney. What about those self-cleaning chimney logs?
Well, again, I think there's various products out there, some of them better than others. I think, again, the importance is to make sure you're getting a professional to inspect your chimney, make sure it's cleaned regularly. So I wouldn't rely on some of these products. I'm not saying some of them may not have some uses, but in the end, again, we rely on professionals to look after our cars and fix our brakes. It's no different with your appliances at home. I mean, there's professionals who are trained and certified to make sure they operate and provide what we want, is comforts of our home, but at the same time don't cause hazards that may affect us in our families, in our homes.
And very quickly is we want to make sure that our viewers know that in the city of Brampton, our municipal bylaw is to have at least one working carbon monoxide alarm near the sleeping area. We also recommend, if we have people sleeping upstairs and people in the basement, you might want to buy, or you should buy, a second carbon monoxide alarm. Thank you, Dave, for being here. This has been very good information for myself and for our viewers. And we're going to be right back after these messages.